Is this thing on? Hello, hello? Uh-oh. Another yapper with a mic. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Napkin in Between podcast. I am your host, Dejanay Jones. I hope everyone's been having a good week except for that orange drink lady. Of course. I am feeling quite refreshed, and for the audio listeners, you can't see what I just did, but a little shimmy. That's how I'm feeling right now. I feel very refreshed and relaxed and just like ready to fuck shit up, honestly. I don't know. I feel like probably because last week, all week, I was on vacation, which was the peak of my week. Just being on vacation and being able to spend time with my family. I went on my first cruise, which was really, really fun. It's crazy because I've planned 3 separate cruises, and for some reason, all of them have been canceled. Well, this was the third one. Third time is the charm, I guess. So the first cruise I ever planned was for me and my ex. It was his birthday, so we were going to go on a cruise. And it was hurricane season, so we weren't able to go. And there was like a massive hurricane, and so they canceled our cruise or whatever. Second one I planned was with my family. We were going to go, and then COVID happened, and the whole world shut down. We weren't allowed to go on the cruise. And so this cruise finally happened, which I was very excited about, but also low-key, I was kind of anxious because I was like, is there a reason that I keep booking cruises and they keep being canceled outside of my control? Like, is this a sign? Am I not supposed to be in the ocean? Because honestly, the ocean is so scary. The ocean is so scary. We know less about the ocean than we know about it. That makes sense? I don't know if that made sense. What I mean is we only know, I think it's like 20% of the ocean, and 80% of the ocean is undiscovered. Like, we don't know what the fuck is in them waters. So the ocean is actually quite scary to me, but it was so calm and peaceful on the boat. Like, just like sitting on the balcony and watching the sea and hearing the waves and looking at the sunset. Like, it was perfect. I really wanted to see a sunrise, but your girl just could not get out of bed. Like, that's too early for me. That's too early. But it was just so peaceful and calm. And I was with my family, who are my favorite people in the entire world, my mom and my 2 nephews, like my whole heart right there. And so that was really fun. And my mom has been on cruises before. So it was just really fun to be with them and having some drinks. And we took family photos, and we saw a play. We saw an aqua show, looking at the islands. We spent some time on the beach. Like, it was just really, really fun and relaxing, and it was just perfect. So that was definitely the peak of my week, just being with my family and being on a cruise and being on vacation. Like, just being able to like get away from it all for a little bit, you know? Like, obviously I was still tuned in here and there, and I was keeping up with news and all the bullshit that Trump is doing and everything like that. But for the most part, I did really try to unplug, and I was pretty much able to, because obviously on the boat, like, we had Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi wasn't the best, and so it wasn't always working. And so that kind of also forced me to unplug and just be present, be with my family, which was much needed. So I'm feeling very refreshed and relaxed and just ready to fuck shit up. So J-Lo, watch out, girl, because I'm back and I'm better than ever. I'm just kidding. But tell me the pick of your week, something that made you smile, kept you grounded, kept you sane in the chaos of the world. Segueing into what we're going to talk about today, speaking of unplugging and, you know, taking time offline and touching some grass or touching some sea, I guess. Not that I really got in the ocean. Anyway, I need every single person to unplug for a little bit, to touch some grass, to do so. I don't know genuinely what we need to do, but the spread of misinformation and the AI on social media and just like all of it is really starting to scare me. Like, it is spooky season, and not like the good, fun pumpkins and Halloween spooky season. Spooky season as in like misinformation is being spread, and AI videos are being used to spread this misinformation, and people are falling for the propaganda. And I am just like afraid of this slippery slope that this could be. So recently on TikTok, there was this woman who is a DoorDasher. I think her name is Michaela. I'm not exactly sure. I think her name on TikTok is like IRL Monster High Doll or something along those lines. But anyway, this woman is a DoorDasher, and she had a delivery to this man's house, okay? When she gets to the house, the instructions were for her to leave it at the door. So she's going up onto the porch to leave the food at the door. And on her way to leave the food at the door, in eyesight of the front door is a man who is laying on the couch with no pants or under on. He's indecently exposed to her. She can see his little friend, okay? And so she takes a video of this and puts it online. Now, we're going to get into it because I think I have maybe a different opinion on all of this. But let me just get through the whole story and then I'll break it down. So she takes a video of this man with no undergarments on and no covering on his bottom half. And she puts it online. She posts a little snippet on the video about, she's a DoorDasher and that she went to deliver and this is what she saw. And she put his name and blah, 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 blah. Now, there's been a couple of videos. I saw this late because, again, I was on vacation. I wasn't really online. But she posted some videos about the situation and the interaction. And in her videos of her story time, she puts the video of this man uncensored so you can see that he's not clothed on his bottom half. And so she reports it to DoorDash and they deactivate his account. But then 2 days after that, they also deactivate hers. And she comes online and she's upset. She just lost her job, so obviously she's upset. And she says that, DoorDash deactivated her for sharing her sexual assault story and they're punishing her. And, she was the victim of sexual assault and she's being punished because she talked about her sexual assault. And so now, of course, being as though it's been brought to social media, there are people who are, chiming in, giving their 2 cents, how they feel about the situation, blah, 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 blah. But there's also people who are intentionally or unintentionally, I'm not really sure. At some point, I feel like it has to be intentional, are spreading misinformation about the whole situation, saying that, she had said in one of her videos that got taken down, the door was cracked and she pushed it open. There are people who are taking her video and cropping it and making it look like the door was cracked, trying to show that she pushed it open. I've seen a photo of someone, they put a white hand on the door to make it look like it's a part of the video and she's pushing the door open. There's just so much misinformation being spread. And it's just very disheartening and scary to see how much misinformation is being spread and also to see people think in such absolutes. Because how I feel about it is that multiple things can be true at once in this situation. It was weird and fucked up for him to order DoorDash and then fall asleep. I say in quotes because personally, you cannot convince me that this man did not know what the fuck he was doing. You cannot convince me. People are trying to say, oh, maybe he was drunk and he fell asleep. So he was coherent enough to order a DoorDash delivery, but he wasn't coherent enough to shut his front door and cover himself up and not be exposed to people who could see from outside. Yeah, the math isn't mathing to me. I've also seen people being like, he was maybe doing handshakes with himself. That's how I'll say it. And people are like, you've never fallen asleep while you were doing, not in front of a wide open fucking door. Actually, I haven't. No. Have you? Because if you have, that's not normal. That's not something that should be happening. You know what I mean? And then people are like, well, the instructions were for her to leave it at the door. She should have left it and minded her business. Number one, he left his business out for her to mind. Let's start there. Number two, the instructions were for her to leave it at the door. Correct. On her way to leave it at the door was open and she could see in her direct eyesight. What did y'all want her to do? Did you want her to walk up to the porch with her eyes closed? Did you want her to throw the food from the driveway to the front porch to leave it at the door? You guys, I need people to be so fucking for real and just apply a crumb of logic. Jesus, be a crumb of logic to what you are fucking saying. None of that makes sense. So no, you cannot convince me that he did not know exactly what he was doing and that was fucked up. At best, maybe he was just negligent and drunk and didn't realize that his door was open and fell asleep. At worst, he has some weird kind of fucking fetish, or he's some sort of predator and set that situation up. That was a scheme set up by Todd to fill whatever fantasy or whatever fetish he fucking had, which is fucked up and predatory because people have to be able to consent to your fetishes, and that has to be like a mutual understanding. So you can't just like flash someone and be like, oh, sorry, just my sexual fetish. No, that's sexual assault. That's sexual assault. And then another thing, people are like, oh, well, she said she was sexually assaulted, but it's actually sexual harassment. Listen, I fear we're arguing about the wrong thing in this whole situation. Because indecent exposure, flashing, both examples of sexual assault. Okay? And whether you want to call it sexual assault, sexual harassment, like, I think with sexual harassment, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure with sexual harassment, it has to be like a reoccurring thing to fit that harassment part, right? You see what I'm saying? But regardless, whether you want to call it sexual assault, sexual harassment, it's a sexual offense. It's sexual violence. So it's like, I don't feel like that's the most important part. Do I think that it's important to define what sexual assault and sexual harassment are? Absolutely, because someone might be sexually assaulted or sexually harassed and they don't even know that they're being sexually harassed because they don't know the definition of the word. So I do think that it is important to define those things, but you can define those things without making that the focal point of your argument. Without being like, oh, well, you know, she said the wrong thing. Like that falls to me into that like perfect victim blaming type of thing where it's like, oh, well, she didn't say the right word and she didn't use the right terminology. So, you know, like that's not the most important thing. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, this was an act of sexual violence or some sort of sexual misconduct. So it's like let's focus on the fact that it was sexual misconduct. You know what I mean? So the first thing that I feel to be true in this situation is, at best, it was weird. At worst, it was fucking predatory behavior for this man to order DoorDash, leave his door open, and be exposed to whoever was delivering the order. At the same time, her recording it, that part wasn't wrong. I don't feel that was wrong, because if she was going to go to the police, if she needed evidence, okay, I understand that. Her recording it isn't wrong. Her uploading it online was. That was wrong. And the reason I say that was wrong is because it hurt her. At the end of the day, she lost her job, not because she reported her sexual assault. I think that if she would have just done a story time and been like, hey guys, this is what happened to me, I have a recording of it, but I'm not going to post it. I think that maybe she would have been okay. But the fact that she put that video online, which number one, shows him unclothed from the waist down, and also in the video, you can see his house numbers, like the number on his house, which are a part of his address. That's what shot her in the ass, I think. Because it violated DoorDash's terms of service, number one, because she released private information about a customer. But also, like, uploading that online to shame him, it's giving revenge porn. You know, so that also leads to a whole nother avenue of criminal and legal trouble for her. So when I say that she was wrong for uploading it online, that's what I mean. Because at the end of the day, this is the thing with like victims of some sort of sexual misconduct, is that people will be like, people are upset if you have proof of it, and people are upset if you don't have proof of it. There's like, oh, well, where's your proof? Oh, you have proof? Oh, that's wrong too. So I think that it was okay for her to at least have proof of it, but to put it online, I think is where she fucked up. And I think that it's okay for us to have both of those things, to hold both of those things at the same time, right? Like, he was fucked up and weird and predatory for doing what he did. At the same time, she should have not put that video online. I think that is an okay thing to do, an okay thing to say, because I feel like people are trying to be like, oh, no, she's fully in the wrong. She violated his privacy, Oh, no, he's fully in the wrong. He's a predator. It's not so black and white. There is gray area. There is, things that could have been done better on her part to protect herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that she didn't lose her job, so that she wouldn't be potentially facing some sort of criminal or legal trouble. It's not about her taking the video that was wrong, in my opinion. What was wrong was her posting it online. And I say that it wasn't wrong for her to take that video, number one, because, again, y'all will be like, oh, where's your proof? Where's your evidence? So, yeah, take your evidence, take your proof, so that if you need to file a police report, report it to DoorDash so you have evidence of it. That's cool. Like, that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Just so that she has that. And also, I feel like it's important for her to do that because the amount of misinformation and just like blatant lies being spread about this situation that people are like soaking up and believing is also fucking crazy. Like, all of these things to me in the situation are true at the same time. This man is fucking weird and predatory. She should not have posted the video online, and y'all are making evidence, I say in quotes, evidence and proof to try to show that she is a liar, which is the craziest oxymoron that I've ever fucking seen. Y'all are out here trying to say that she's a liar and discredit her with manufactured evidence, with fake evidence. And there's people who are eating it the fuck up, and I just like, this is just so scary to me because the things that I've seen so far are, this cropped photo that you can tell is obviously cropped because if you look at it, it's from her video that she posted of this man. And like I said before, she like wrote a little snippet of like the situation on the video that she took when she put it online. You can see from the cropped photo that the words are cut off, that you cannot fully read what she had written there. But people are still looking at this obviously cropped photo and being like, look, here's evidence that the door was cracked and she pushed it open. Which, by the way, even if the door was cracked, which there's no proof of, let me just reiterate, even if the door was cracked, it wasn't closed. And this man's dick was out. Like, can we be so fucking for real? Be so fucking for real. That is still fucked up on his part. And people are like, well, he's in his home. He has the expectation of privacy. When people can see into your home from outside, you lose some of that expectation of privacy. That's still indecent. If you are indecently exposed to someone on the street, they can see into your home and they can see you indecently exposed. That is still, like, you're still going to get in trouble for that. It doesn't matter if you're in your fucking home. Like, can we be serious? But there's people who are taking this cropped photo and being like, see, this is proof that she opened the door. There's also people, I've seen a photo of somebody photoshopped a hand on the door to make it look like she pushed it. Mind you, this is all photos. There's no video of it. They're taking her video and screenshotting it and then cropping it or adding a hand to make it look like she's in the action of pushing it open. First of all, you can tell that it's a photoshopped hand because the video is blurry because it's in motion. Someone had screenshotted the video, so the photo is blurry, but the hand is crystal fucking clear. Hand is crystal fucking clear on this blurry ass. Hand is in 4K and the fucking photo looks like you're squinting. Like, and people are eating this shit up, and I'm just like, how are we not seeing that these are all manufactured things to make her look like she shouldn't be trusted? Like, it's disgusting to me that people are going so hard to try to prove that she did something wrong or she should be discredited or, she violated his privacy. He was just in his home, And it's an extremely slippery slope. And then on top of all of this misinformation, because people are also in the comments like, oh, I saw her original video. She said herself the door was cracked and she pushed it open. Where's that video? People are saying that, but nobody has the video. People are also saying, oh, he has Ring camera footage and I saw the Ring camera footage. You can see that she pushed it open. Where's the video? Where's the video? Then they say, oh, he took it down because he's filing legal charges. If there was a video of this woman pushing the door open, someone would have saved it. Someone would have screen recorded it. Someone would have downloaded it. You will not convince me that just nobody has this footage. If it's out there, if he put it out there for a amount of time and then took it down because he's going to do whatever with it, someone has it in that time that it was up. So where is it? Nobody has it. Nobody fucking has it. But then on top of that, of the comments that spread like fucking wildfire, because people will see a comment and if they see it too often, if they see it too much, it's automatically true. Which is the scariest fucking thing. Like someone, a stranger, mind you, these people do not know each other. These people do not know these people who are writing these comments. But if they see it enough, then all of a sudden it has to be true. What? Pardon? Excuse the fuck out of me. Like, how is it that you can see a literal stranger say something or type something, and you just automatically take it as true and as fact? And I think that this is a conversation for another day, but I think that kind of leans into parasocial relationships, or people are forgetting that this is social media and this is online, and that you do not know these people, and that you should not be trusting these people, myself included. I try so hard not to spread misinformation. I try to be as factual and get as much information as I can before I talk about anything. But even myself, y'all should be questioning. If I say something online, check and double check it. I'm so serious. You should not trust us. If you don't know that person in real life and you don't know that they are a reliable source, you should not just be trusting them. I don't care who it is, myself included. If you see me say something, check and double check we should not just be trusting random people online. We should not just be trusting random people online. The fact that this has to be said, I want to rip my fucking hair out, because what the fuck? Like, why are we just trusting random people? Like, that's insane to me. But people will see these comments and they'll see it over and over, so then that makes it true. They'll see people being like, oh, I saw this thing, da 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 da. They'll see these cropped photos and videos, I say in quotes. People are saying, oh, I've seen this video. They'll see all of this and believe it. But on top of all of this, now AI generated videos are being made of people talking about the situation and proving that this woman did something wrong, or that she violated his privacy. And people are eating this the fuck up because they cannot tell that it is AI. Like, I've said for a couple things now, I think that there are so many tests being run to see how they go over and to see how people respond to it. And this feels like another test to me, because people are going so hard to try to discredit this woman, or to make her seem like she was not a victim of a sexual misconduct. And it's scary to me why someone or people or whoever is going so hard to try to prove that. Like, it feels like to me, this is a test to see how it goes over. And there's such a mixed response to it. And there's so many people who are siding with this man, or, saying that she's a liar, discrediting her, whatever. And it's like, what does that mean for the future? Because people are like, oh, well, maybe he was drunk. Are we not seeing how that verbiage and that excuse can be a slippery slope? Like, yo, I need us to lock the fuck in, because, like, genuinely, what the fuck? And it's also really fucking creepy to me how the AI videos that I've seen of people, like, discrediting her, proving that she was in the wrong in this situation, they're using black people. They may be using other race and ethnicity people too, but the ones that I've seen, they're black people, which is really fucking weird to me. Like, why are we in it? Why are we in it? And I have a theory. This is also another conversation for another day. But I think the reason that they're using black people is because no matter how much they try to villainize us or discredit us as black people, they know deep down that they should be listening to us. They know that we know what the fuck we're talking about, and we are the people that should be listened to. So they're using AI of black people because they know that seems and will appear to be the most reliable source, which is fucked up, because y'all treat us so fucking dirty, but at the end of the day, y'all know that you should be listening to us, that we know what the fuck we're talking about. Again, conversation for another day. That's just a theory. I don't really know, like, why they're using AI of black people. And again, they could be using AI of other races and ethnicities too. I haven't seen it, but like, regardless, it's fucking weird, and I don't fucking like it. And people are eating it up, and it's scaring the fuck out of me, because it just seems like such a slippery slope to me and it seems like a test, not just for online, but like you also have to think there are predators online, right? There are people who have whatever, if it is a fetish, I don't know if for this specific guy, but there are people who have a fetish of like flashing other people or being indecently exposed and blah, 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 blah. And they are watching y'all make up all of these excuses and scenarios to defend this man. This is making me sick to my fucking stomach because they're seeing this reaction right now. And I feel like they have the potential to use this reaction for their advantage. And that is such a sick fucking thing to think about. Like, ew, it's just making me sick to my stomach even thinking about it. And like, it just makes me worried for potential people in the future, because there's predators online who are watching everyone make up this fake evidence and these fake stories and these AI videos, and they're watching people eat this shit the fuck up. I'm sick as fuck. Like, that's just, it's honestly just making me sick to my stomach. So I say all of this to say, please check and double check your sources. Any source. I don't give a fuck who it is, myself included. If I get online and I say something, check and double check. I try my hardest not to spread misinformation, but I'm not perfect. It could happen. I hope it doesn't. I try really hard. That's why, like, sometimes people would be like, they want me to talk about a certain topic, and they're like, why did it take you 4 days to talk about this thing? We were waiting on you, because I'm never going to talk about something that I don't know enough about. Usually when I don't know shit, I shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that person who potentially spreads something that is misinformation or that is inaccurate, because on social media, that shit can spread like wildfire. It spreads so easily and so quickly, and it scares me. And I never want to be a part of someone who is, spreading misinformation. And so if I see something and I try to gather as much information as I can and put out the most informed opinion that I can. And so there's also been times where people are like, we wanted you to talk about this thing, or we wanted you to talk about this, but I don't feel like myself I know enough information about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. Because, and I feel like this is bare minimum, common, decency. If you don't know shit about shit, you should shut the fuck up. Okay? Like, why are we speaking if we don't know shit? Shut the fuck up. But I say all this to say, just like, check and double check your sources, and just be mindful and be careful online, because misinformation can spread so easily. And now with the use of AI, it's even easier to spread, and people could be more easily fooled. So just like, take everything that you see online. My grandma used to say this thing. She used to always tell me, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Basically meaning, like, if it's just like he said, she said, word of mouth comments online, we should not just be blindly believing these things. If it's something that you see, especially today with AI, take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Be as informed as you can for yourself. Don't just blindly listen to people online. I don't care if they're a massive creator. I don't care if they're just itty bitty. Like, try to gather as much information as you can personally, because misinformation can spread like wildfire. And again, this whole situation has left an extremely bad taste in my mouth, because I feel like someone or something is working like overtime to produce these cropped images and these Photoshop photos and these AI videos to discredit this woman. And that's so fucking scary to me. So please be vigilant and careful and inform yourself. Don't inform yourself by just listening to what people are saying. Inform yourself by going out and trying to find the information yourself, because shit's getting weird. It's spooky season, but not like the nice, cute spooky season, like the actually scary, what the fuck is going on. This is giving Black Mirror spooky season. So again, As we wrap up today's episode, I try my hardest not to spread misinformation, which I feel, again, is the bare minimum of anyone who has a platform. But even if you see me saying something, check and double check. Check and double check every single source. If you do not know that person personally in real life, and you don't know that they're a reliable, trustworthy source, please look into things for yourself, because shit is getting really fucking weird and really fucking scary. And like the spread of misinformation, it's going from bad to JLo. First, it was already bad when people were like leaving comments that were dishonest and those were spreading, and then the cropped photos and the Photoshop, whatever. Like, that was already bad. But now that we're getting into like AI and shit like that, please, everyone, just be extremely vigilant. Inform yourself. Look up things yourself. Don't just believe what you're seeing people saying online, because shit is getting really fucking scary. And we all just need to do our part and do a little bit extra to make sure that we are factually informed, or as close to the truth as we can get, because this shit is scary. I'm scared, y'all. Like, this is not okay. So please just inform yourself, look into things, double check everything, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I hope everyone's having a good day, except for that orange drink lady. And I will talk to you in the next episode. Peace and love. Talk to you later. The Napkin in Between, hosted by Dejanay Jones, produced by Dejanay Jones, post-production by Dejanay Jones, music by Sam Champagne, and graphics by Isma Vidal. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next episode.